throwing a big event tonight?
Your money come with blood.
All money come with blood, baby. Listen here. This ain't no house party. Y'all ready to drink? Y'all ready to sweat till y'all stank?
You want some?
You keep dancing with the devil. One day he's gonna follow you home.
Our daddy was an evil man. And he passed that evil down to us.
I'm Tavis Smiley. There you have the trailer for the movie Sinners. As I mentioned a moment ago, big ups, congrats to Ryan and to Michael B. and to Omar and the entire cast. This thing is #1 at the box office this weekend. Before I get to that special relationship between those two brothers, you said a moment ago that you are proud of the fact that this weekend's box office proves that black folks showed out and repped for the culture. What do you mean by that, Omar?
Well, you know what? The film, and Ryan has a track record. Let's start with Ryan. Ryan Coogler's a young man that's very accomplished, and he's the epitome of focus. He's a family man, and as they say, he's focused on his focus, as they say in the Bay Area.
Yeah.
And he's not into anything but promoting us and our culture in the best lights. In realistic lights, but in the best lights, as evidenced by Black Panther, as evidenced by Creed, as evidenced by Fruitvale Station, and now as evidenced by Sinners. So for me, the trailers that came out initially were a little ambiguous. People didn't really know what the film was about. And we were asking you to come out based on the relationship of Ryan and Michael B. Jordan, based on seeing people like myself and Delroy Lindo in the trailer. And we're saying, trust us on this one, we got you. And I mean that the culture saw the trailers and the culture said, you know what? I mess with them brothers. And they're legit. I'm going to go check out what they got to say. And what you got was much more than a horror film. You had a masterpiece, a social commentary that is currently relevant, even though it was a period piece.
Yeah. What did you make of the fact, and this is inside baseball, because neither you nor I are involved in making decisions necessarily about how films are promoted.
Yes.
But I felt the same way. When I first saw the trailer, it was ambiguous for me. And I did not know that Ryan had allowed them to put a trailer out that would serve him well, because it's hard to get Negroes to go see something if they don't know what they're going to see.
Yeah, it's hard to get us out the house.
That's what I'm saying.
Everybody.
And these tickets ain't cheap these days.
No way.
Neither is the popcorn and everything else, right? So I want to know what I'm going to see, and yet they pulled it off. What you went there, so I want to follow you. What do you make of the fact that, again, a trailer that was a bit ambiguous still got black folk in theaters? In theaters.
I'll say that it was ambiguous to start,
right?
But then they turned it up,
right?
And I have to give Warner Brothers credit because they took their cues from Ryan himself,
right?
And Ryan knows his audience, and that's part of exactly what an auteur does.
Right.
He knows who he's servicing, and in that, he knew how to tap the nerve on the culture to say, "Hey, trust me." Just trust me. Come out. Because I heard a lot of the talk. You know, we had a lot of talk. People didn't like the idea of the title itself and the title coming out on Easter. They thought there was some gaslighting or some trolling going on. And if you see the film, it couldn't be further from the truth.
Yeah.
This film talks about sinners, and it is actually appropriately titled.
Yeah.
Because as per the word, the wages of sin is death. And if you see the film, you know what I mean.
No, I thought it was a bold move. It was a risky move, but a bold move to call it Sinners, connected again to a release around Easter, and even the vampire thing.
Yeah,
I mean that ain't black people. For those of us who are spiritual, I don't even want to say religious, but those who are spiritual, that doesn't always connect.
I agree.
Yeah,
and you know what the thing is it's funny because he made it a point in the film to have representation culturally for the dynamic of the diaspora, from the hoodoo to the faith, to the Christian faith, to the way that we are to secular folks. And I believe that in that it actually has something for everyone. And I can't speak highly enough about him and his vision, and his wife produces with him. And what I've been receiving is a lot of adulation because the film is somewhat mesmerizing in the sense that when you finish the film, you're almost in a trance. You're almost like, what did I just see? It takes a while to digest, but it sticks with you that it motivates you to have to speak about the film and see it again. I had people hitting me telling me they've seen it 2-3 times this weekend.
I was going to say, it's one of those things that you got to see it 2 or 3 times. And it's kind of like reading Toni Morrison's work.
You got to run it back.
You got to run it back a few times.
You got to run it back. Yeah. And I think that's the mark of genius.
Yeah,
honestly, that's the mark of Coogler's brilliance.
Yeah. His name is Omar Miller. I'm honored to have him in studio. I love talking to smart people, and I got a smart one this hour. He's so much more than just a thespian. You're listening. I'm glad about it to Tavis Smiley.
From Leimert Park with love, this is Tavis Smiley.
Some people just know they can save hundreds on car insurance by checking Allstate first at 888-ALLSTATE or allstate.com. Like you know to check your sunroof is closed first before driving through the car wash.
Whoa. No. Wait, whoa.
Yeah, checking first is smart. So if you want to save money, check Allstate first at 888-ALLSTATE or allstate.com. You're in good hands with Allstate.
Savings vary. Terms apply. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
Make a move into a home of your own. With City National Bank's Ladder Up Home Loan Grant, you could receive up to $20,000 that you never need to pay back. Use it toward your down payment, save on closing costs, or to buy down your mortgage rate. Find out more at cnb.com/ladderuphome. City National, here for every stage of the journey. Property must be in a qualifying market in California, New York, or New Jersey. Additional terms and conditions apply. Not all applicants will qualify. Terms are subject to change without notice. City National Bank is an equal housing lender. Member FDIC. NMLS number 536994.
Hi, I'm Joe Montaigne. Let's talk about veteran homelessness, because it's not just a housing issue, it's a human issue. Right now, we need LA property owners to open their doors and give veterans a safe place to call home. With guaranteed rent and dedicated support, you can be part of the solution. Learn how you can help. Email houseurourvets@lacity.org.
Hi, I'm Dominique DePrima, and it's almost time to celebrate KBLA's 4th anniversary, coming up Juneteenth 2025. We'll be marking the achievement with 4 key community events, including a special symposium, luncheon, and brain trust hosted by me entitled The State of Black Women in Los Angeles. Keep it locked here for details on how to join us for this groundbreaking symposium examining the unique challenges, triumphs, and contributions of Black women in Los Angeles in the areas of education, healthcare, community leadership, cultural and political contributions. This public convocation will provide a critical forum to address the specific social, economic, and political realities facing Black women in LA today. We'll go live with a radio broadcast and YouTube live stream, a public discussion, and a private dialogue with some of LA's most impactful women. It's an affirmation of Black women standing at the intersection of race and gender in times of adversity while demonstrating remarkable resilience and leadership. We will listen and we will speak out and be heard, all in service of finding opportunities and solutions. Please plan to join us in celebrating our 4th anniversary by amplifying the voices of Black women. For more on our symposium and 4 events celebrating 4 years on the air, simply stay tuned or keep an eye on KBLA1580.com and help make this Juneteenth more jubilant with all of us at KBLA Talk 1580.
Less monologue, more dialogue. Tavis Smiley continues right now.
Tavis Smiley and Omar Miller, NAACP Image Award nominated actor who is in this new film, Sinners, written, produced, directed by Ryan Coogler, starring, of course, Michael B. Jordan. An amazing cast. Delroy Linda. I love Delroy, man.
Oh, man.
Delroy can do it, man.
He is
can do it.
A thespian of the highest order.
He can
that
do
brother
it, man.
Can act.
Well, you right up there with him, man. Omar Miller is our guest in the studio. Here's a little taste of what he does inside the film, Sinners.
What y'all doing? Just step aside and let me on in now.
Why you need him to do that? You big and strong enough to push past us?
Well, that wouldn't be too polite now, would it, Miss Annie? I don't know why I'm talking to you anyway. Smoke.
Don't talk to him. You talking to me right now. Why you can't just walk your big ass up in here without an invite, huh? Go ahead. Admit to it.
Admit to what?
That you dead.
Smoke, you listening to this? Now we out here playing games, telling ghost stories in place of doing what we ought to do.
And what is it we supposed to be doing?
Being kind to one another. And being polite. Now we is one people, and we shouldn't go in barging into other folks' places uninvited, so You've been in and out of here all day. Ain't never need an invite then. Yeah, something ain't adding up. Can I at least get my money?
Careful.
I said earlier in this program that Sinners was number one at the box office this weekend. Indeed, it was. I saw numbers over the weekend that were around 45. And wrong, 63. 63 million is the number right now. It's reported by Variety. I would call that a nice opening weekend for Mr. Coogler.
Excellent. Excellent work.
$63 million.
And he deserves every dollar of it, because I'm going to tell you something. He delivered a film at this time that stokes conversation and actually calls you to examine yourself, society, how we all fit in it, and what we want it to be.
Yep. Before I get too far afield, we just played a clip of one of your many pieces in the film. Tell me about the clip we just heard, and tell me about your character.
So I play Cornbread. Cornbread is a
sharecropper.
sharecropper.
Cornbread.
It's great. When he sent it to me, I was like, "Oh, okay, you got me already." Yeah. So he's a sharecropper, and Stack, one of the twins, played brilliantly by Michael B. Jordan. I think it's the best that Mike has ever been, and that is in all compliments, because Mike has been good in several things.
Yeah.
Stack comes and picks up Cornbread out the fields, literally. And he needs a doorman for his juke joint that he's putting together for the night. And Cornbread is reluctant to do so, but at the behest of his wife, he decides to roll with his old friend, his old hustling friend. And that clip that you saw is when things start to get a little freaky. And Cornbread has seemed to experience some sort of a change, and he's trying to manipulate the situation, and nobody can quite understand why. But after you see that clip, you'll understand exactly why.
Yeah. Tell me what the joy is. Now, I should say joy is probably plural, but just talk to me about being in a cast of black folk for a film like this.
It's fantastic. But it starts from the top.
Yeah.
Because this is truly FUBU.
Yeah.
This one is for us, by us. And oftentimes in Hollywood, unfortunately, it's the other FUBU, which is for you, by us. And you know what I mean? And it's like, it's the other way around.
I did not see that code, Omar, but I love it. Say that again.
Usually that's how it goes. I've been in several pieces which you would feel like our pieces, if you will, but they've actually been created, written, or controlled by people that aren't members of the black diaspora, which at times can work, but at other times there's nuance that gets missed. I think part of the secret sauce of what makes Coogler so brilliant is that he is so in touch with making us dynamic characters and telling our stories in all of its full girth, textured and layered and nuanced, so that it's not flattened, it's not one-dimensional. We actually have everything from the king to the gutter, you know what I mean? And all of those stories deserve to be told, because everybody deserves to be represented. So for me, this being the 5th collaboration between Ryan and Mike, them dudes set the tone of a rapport like you're on a family set. And that they opened that to you, and all of us in the set just fell right into it. And I have to say, there's a piece in here that I don't feel like people are speaking about much. There's a great representation of Chinese Americans in the film, and those characters are based on a real community in the Mississippi Delta in the 30s. It's a great documentary on YouTube if you want to go watch it about that, about those characters.
Tell me more about how you read. As I mentioned earlier, I was honored to have them sit for a conversation when Fruitvale first came out. And it happened kind of funny, as I'm told. My producers actually told me the backstory to this. I didn't realize it. So when I finally, saw my rundown, who was coming on that week, I saw, Michael B. Jordan talking about Fruitvale. And then a few days later, I looked up and Ryan Coogler had been added. And it was cool. It was a great honor for me because he requested to be added to that conversation. He said, if Michael's talking to Tavis Smiley, I want to be in that conversation. So I was so fortunate to have them together on the couch when they first got together again for Fruitvale. And, of course, I followed their work like everybody else has over the years. What is it, from your perspective, you've seen this up close, what is it about that relationship that works time and time again when they get together?
They believe in each other.
Yeah.
And I think in that, they bring out the best in each other.
Yeah.
Ryan Coogler believed that Michael B. Jordan was a movie star before a lot of people and executives in Hollywood believed that he was a movie star. That's a big deal, because having somebody believe in you like that, and so they write for you, they know how to shoot you, they know how to bring out your best on film. And then when it comes to the flip side, Michael has faith and trust that Ryan has their best interest at heart. And he gave him shots that other people haven't given him in Hollywood.
Yeah.
And Michael has developed into a leading man with that symbiotic relationship with Ryan.
Yeah.
And I think that the proof is in the pudding. You see the films. You saw how they did Creed. Mm-hmm. To me, Fruitvale Station was brilliant. Yeah. I really felt the pain of Oscar Grant. You see, it took place mostly in one day, but you feel like you really know this young man, and it was a true story, and it was heartbreaking. Yeah. Then you move on to Creed. Man, I was more hyped in the theater for Creed than I was the original Rocky film when I was a kid. Mm-hmm. So it's like you see that, and they've just developed as young men.
Sure.
They've developed in their lives, thus they've developed in their personal lives and their professional lives.
Yep. The other part of this story that's completely turning me on, because obviously I'm a small business owner, and I get this. But when I saw that story come out about this deal he struck.
Outstanding.
You know I'm going, right?
Yes.
I'm like Ryan Coogler, I'm bowing down, man. You a bad man. So if you haven't seen this story, just Google it. It's everywhere. Ryan Coogler struck a deal with the studio where in a number of years, 25 years. 25 years from now, I want y'all to hear me on this, all of the ownership rights of this film revert back to him. He's starting with a $63 million opening weekend, but in 25 years, all of the rights, the ownership rights of this film revert back to him. To say that is not a typical deal, or to say it is atypical in Hollywood, is the mother of all understatements. But just the business acumen and the leverage and the insight and the hustle for you to put a film out that's already, making this kind of money and will continue to make money, but in 25 years, all of the ownership rights revert back to you and not the studio. I ain't mad at him, Omar.
Can't be. How you gonna be mad at that? And once again, he's trailblazing.
Yeah,
he's pioneering because he's showing people the way. The other thing is those themes are all throughout the film as well.
Yeah.
Negotiation is in the film. Knowing your worth is in the film. All of the stuff that he practices in real life is actually it's shown and visualized in the film in ways that you can understand how to apply it in your own life. Because he has a wonderful way of educating people without preaching to them. Mm-hmm. And I think that in that sense, I spoke to him before about this, and he was a finance guy in college. Yeah. He played sports. He was a football dude, but he was a finance guy. And so he used that business acumen. Once again, it goes back to education. Yeah. He got the education to use the business acumen to put himself in a position to demand that sort of a deal. Because you can't just walk into a studio and get that deal unless they really want to work with you.
That's right. It is an art, and I think art's the right word. For me at least, it is an art, echoing what you just said. A precise and particular, and one might add a peculiar art.
Yes.
To know how to put forth product that entertains people, that gets them to think but doesn't proselytize.
That's it.
That's a lot to do.
It's a whole lot.
In a script, and he pulled it off.
And it's even harder to do in execution.
Yeah.
Even if you execute it on the page, executing it on the screen is a whole different animal because you have to choose when to edit the film. I've seen the film 3 times now, right? Yeah. But I saw it when he first got done with the cut. And he called me and asked me to come down and check it out to pick my brain. It was me, Delroy, Miles Caton, and Jack O'Connell. We all sat there. When Jackie plays the main antagonist, Remick, in the film. Mm-hmm. And we all sat, and then afterwards we all had a roundtable discussion about the film. Yeah. And it's not easy to be in his position. It requires extreme focus and a spiritual blessing, in my opinion, because you really need guidance to make the right decisions on which scenes stay, which scenes go, how long they should be, cameras, music, the whole song and dance. Directors make decisions all day. That's what they do. They make decisions. And a big piece of the decision making is getting the right people to let the experts do what they do. Yeah.
The other thing about these projects that crack me up, I used to tease my friend Prince about this all the time. When you write, produce, and direct, if it don't work, it ain't nobody's fault but yours.
It's all on you.
It's all on you, man.
And rest in peace to the GOAT.
Exactly.
As Prince knew, it worked more times than it didn't.
There you go. But it's all on Ryan, and he pulled it off.
That's right.
In fine fashion. You suggested earlier, and I've already heard some of these. I'm curious as to what you're hearing. Maybe starting at that table when you all were assessing the film after you watched it, after you saw the first cut. What kinds of conversations are you hearing, and or do you believe that this film is going to generate in our community?
Well, I think it's there's a ton of conversations that have already started because my phone, I can't even keep a charge on my phone. So many people are calling me to talk to me to get my take on certain metaphors in the film.
Give me X, Y, and Z.
A big one is when the Native Americans show up and what the Native Americans do to try to protect, in this particular situation, the white couple. And there's a white couple that he's trying to protect, which could metaphorically be seen as what the Native Americans did when the Pilgrims showed up to America and were going to die and wouldn't be able to last the winter. And they came with food, shelter, and clothing and put them in a position to thrive. But then you saw how it was paid back. You have that. You have the conversation about business ownership and negotiation, which you see during the film when Smoke talks to the little girl. You have conversations about what the vampires metaphorically represent in the film, about literally sucking the creativity out of the community and taking it for their own. This is a deep film that's metaphorically and allegorically sound and full. So when you go, prepare, because it's a full meal, man. It's going to sit with you.
Yeah. To my mind, that is a lot of insight for a guy of Ryan's age.
I'm blown away. He's not even 40.
As I'm saying, to what do you attribute that?
Focus. Yeah. That's what I meant when I was talking about focus earlier.
Yeah.
Because a young man got married early in life. He's a father. He's a brother. And he was raised by Black Panthers. And the cat is focused. And I think that when you can narrow your focus to exactly what your passion and purpose is in life, the rewards and the benefits that you reap have that profound effect, that multiplying exponential effect in comparison to when you're all over the place. Yeah. And I think that's where he's been able to, show that wisdom.
Yeah. Our history, Black history, is replete with examples of folk who were immensely talented, but didn't get a chance to become long distance runners.
Yep.
Tupac is an example of that, obviously. And I've often wondered how much greater he would have become at his music and his acting and everything else he had his hands on had he lived longer. Thankfully, Ryan, and I'm even thinking of Chadwick Boseman right now, right?
Absolutely.
So Ryan is still here, thankfully, and Michael is still here, and they're killing the game, no question about it. If they are blessed with the longevity of years, how much bigger is this relationship going to become? How much greater will the work be decades down the road?
Well, I think that the proof is going to be in the pudding, in the sense that the power of art is transcendent.
Yeah.
That's one of the messages of the film Sinners.
Yeah.
But what has already taken effect is, imagine the number of people that have been motivated and inspired by their relationship from their 5 collaborations already. The next Ryan Coogler just watched Sinners in theaters this weekend and had his mind completely blown and said, this is what I want to do with my life.
Yeah.
This is what I want to do with my career. And they're going to trailblaze, and they're going to find ways to expand the image of us around the world. Now, I don't think it's limited to that, because I think that Mike and Ryan are also going to have fantastic collaborations to come. They have if you see them hanging out with each other, they have no intent of not being brothers for life.
Yeah. We ride together.
Die together. Sit. It's bad boys for life.
That's how we do it. That's what I love about you. You throw it out there, he picks it up and runs with it, man. Everybody can't do that. I just tossed it up, he grabbed it and ran with it.
Come on.
So that's Sinners, but you don't get Omar Miller in studio without having a career conversation. So when we come forward, I'm going to talk about Miracle at St. Anna.
Thank you.
I'm going to talk about The West Wing. I'm going to talk about Ballers. I'm going to talk about CSI Miami. Speaking of Miami, he's here, and I'm going to make him work. You're listening to Tavis Smiley.
Helping to stretch your moral and political imagination. This is Tavis Smiley.
I'm Alexandria Ikamoni with 4 things you should know from BIN News. Senator Chris Van Hollen says the efforts around a man mistakenly deported to El Salvador are about defending due process rights. The Maryland Democrat said if the Trump administration can violate the rights of Kilmar Abrego Garcia, the rights of all Americans are threatened. More than 130 international students can remain in the U.S. for now, thanks to a federal judge in Atlanta. A temporary restraining order was issued by a U.S. District Court judge against ICE and other federal agencies after the students' visas were revoked. The first trailer is being released for the football horror film called Him. It stars Tyreek Withers as a rising quarterback that's invited to learn from an aging player. Him is being produced by Jordan Peele, who is black, and is set to hit theaters in September. In the NBA postseason, Boston Celtics, Oklahoma City Thunder, and Golden State Warriors all won their respective games. Get BIN News on demand 24/7 at BINnews.com.
Think It Up is an initiative to activate student-powered, teacher-led learning projects. Students and teachers, how can you spark great learning experiences in your classrooms today? Join at thinkitup.org.
Joe Buck and John Smoltz welcoming you back to the City Center Convenience Mart. Uh-oh. She's looking at the cigarettes, but she just grabs the gum off the counter. Stand Up to Cancer and Rally want you to reduce your risk for cancer. Go to takeahealthystand.org. Is this the tackle?
This is the KBLA Sports Minute with Ray Richardson.
The Clippers are back in action tonight in Denver in the first round of the NBA playoffs. The number one item for the Clippers in Game 2 has to be ball handling. The Clippers had 20 turnovers Saturday in their 2-point loss to Denver in Game 1. That was the Clippers' first loss since March 30th at Cleveland. 7 p.m. tip-off tonight on TNT. The Lakers and Houston Rockets, the number 3 and number 2 seed in the Western Conference playoffs, are the only playoff teams to lose Game 1 at home. All 4 home teams in the Eastern Conference were winners in Game 1. The Lakers have some extra time to make improvements after their Game 1 loss to Minnesota Saturday night. Game 2 is Tuesday night at Crypto.com. Former Tennessee quarterback Nico Imaliva made it official. The Long Beach native is transferring to UCLA. Imaliva confirmed his decision on Instagram. No debates, no speculation, just the info you need. That's your KBLA Sports Minute. I'm Ray Richardson. More news, opinions, and conversation when we come forward on KBLA Talk 1580.
We've got a lot to talk about.
Hi, I'm Zoe Williams, a.k.a. the Voice of Reason, encouraging you to join me weekdays from 7 to 9 p.m. for the world's most intriguing relationship radio roundtable. Every night, I facilitate and encourage our loyal listeners to participate in the most engaging relationship discussions you'll hear anywhere. So make it a point to rendezvous with me, Zoe Williams, the Voice of Reason, Monday through Friday, 7 to 9 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Trust me, your relationships will never be the same. The VOR is on fire tonight.
Unapologetically progressive. KBLA Talk 1580. We've got your black. This is KBLA Talk 1580. Talk radio. That's music to your ears. We're unapologetically progressive. KBLA Talk 1580.
After producing an award-winning climate justice campaign in 2024, KBLA Talk 1580 has gone all in on its 2025 Climate Justice plus Black Health Initiative. April is Minority Health Month, and Urban Family Focus, in partnership with Providence Health Systems, presents The Heart of the Matter. Providence doctors and health equity officers will participate in informative and life-changing conversations on hypertension, health equity, behavioral health, and community engagement. Don't miss these empowering conversations on Urban Family Focus every Saturday in April at 7 and Sunday at 6 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Sponsored by Providence, Southern California's largest and most comprehensive health care network. We've got a lot to talk about on KBLA Talk 1580. Download the KBLA 1580 app or log in to KBLA1580.com. I'm Reverend Gerald, the life coach, on KBLA Talk 1580. We've got your black.
Paid for by government.com. Did you know? The United States Mint has issued a new Morgan silver dollar coin in proof condition for the first time. Not only that, they are also minted in 99.9% pure silver for the first time ever in history. Coin experts are calling this an amazing opportunity for anyone that knows the enduring popularity of Morgans. But you must hurry. Only 400,000 of these legal tender silver dollars were issued. These first ever Morgan silver dollars are brand new with stunning mirror-like finish, Minted by the iconic San Francisco Mint. Call now and you're guaranteed a new first ever 99.9% pure silver proof Morgan dollar. To learn more, call 1-800-973-9717. If you order now, you will receive a free coin collector bonus pack, a $25 value, free with every order. Call 1-800-973-9717 now to secure your new Morgan silver dollars before they are gone. That's 1-800-973-9717.
More honesty than you can handle. More empowerment than you can imagine. You're tuned in to Tavis Smiley.
Tavis Smiley and the brilliant thespian Omar Miller. You've been listening to us celebrate the success of Sinners. $63 million at the box office in its opening weekend, and celebrating Ryan Coogler's deal that in 25 years, all of the ownership rights for this film revert back to him. I ain't mad at his hustle. But you know that brings out haters, right? It brings out haters. So in Variety, writing about this film, they say that the box office takings are a great result, but profitability remains a ways away, given the film's eye-popping $90 million price tag before global marketing expenses. So they call the budget at $90 million eye-popping, which it's not in Hollywood. But then they say, yeah, it's a great result, but profitability remains a ways away. This is Variety's way of just taking a brother down a peg or two. And so there are a number of folk pushing back on that, including one, Ben Stiller, who clearly ain't a brother. Not a black man, at least. Ben Stiller says, and I quote, "In what universe does a $60 million opening for an original studio movie warrant this headline?" That's Ben Stiller pushing back on it. Others are as well. But what do you make of Variety trying to belittle Ryan's success, Omar?
Well, as they say, sometimes your skin folk ain't your kinfolk, or sometimes they are. Because in this case, Ben Stiller is speaking out on behalf of the creative community.
That's right.
And you know what? Patrick Schwarzenegger pushed back on it. Joe Russo of Avengers fame, him and his brother make the Marvel films that everybody love. And he said something that is even maybe more poignant, whereas, the film didn't make back its entire budget in 3 days, so why should we even make it? Yeah. And this is a scenario where, I guess you can say that if you don't got haters, you haven't made it.
Yeah.
But the proof is going to be when the tally is done. This film will perform. It's going to have what we call in the industry legs.
Oh, yeah.
Because people who see the film want to see the film again.
That's right.
It connects with you on such a deep level that you feel so satisfied with your investment of your $20 at the cinema that you will run it back. I'm certain the film will reach profitability, and I pray that they don't try to cheat Ryan or anybody else with some of that funny Hollywood math that they like to do. Yeah. But we sweep them to the side, we push back on it, and thank God there's other people in the creative community with a lot of juice who push back on it as well. And hopefully the journalists do better, because in real life, you could use this as a microcosm of how we got in this terrible situation with the presidency, because the media decided that they wanted to manipulate the public with their words, with their ads, with the way that they frame things. And that puts people in a position to have their mind played with. Yep. This film is a success. I don't care what anybody's talking about.
Yep. Sometimes you got to chin check folk, and Variety needs to get chin checked. And I'm glad that many people are chin checking them in this moment for putting a headline out like that. Let's just give the brothers props, period.
Let's just give him love.
In the
celebrate it. And guess what? And the audience has rewarded him for a solid quality original film.
That's right.
The audience rewarded him with their appearance. The audience showed up this weekend all around the world. Yeah. So you can't knock that. You can try, but as they said in the 90s, you and I know what's going on.
That's it. Speaking of what's going on, as I said, you don't get Omar Miller in studio and not talk about all the other stuff he's done. So I'm gonna spend the next 20 minutes just running some clips of some of my favorite projects that he has involved himself in. Let's start, Miles Lowe, with CSI Miami.
Hey, Delco. Thanks for watching my back, man.
What are you talking about?
I told you my rent was going up, and Nevins just brought that up to me before she accused me of stealing the diamonds from the evidence locker. You told her.
How did she make the leap from rent to diamonds?
Because she's been investigating me. She had my bank statements. Said she was concerned about some big deposit I made.
I mean, you had an explanation, right?
Yeah, my buddy was paying back a loan, but that's beside the point. You're the only one I told about my rent going up.
I'm sorry, man. I didn't mean to put you in the hot seat.
I don't know what you're doing, but just stay the hell away from me, all right?
Shout out to Adam Rodriguez right there. That's my scene partner in that. Adam Rodriguez, a fantastic actor and a friend. You know what? And he welcomed me on that set because when I came on the show, it had already been on for 7 seasons. Yeah. And he welcomed me with open arms, as did the fans.
Yeah. That's CSI Miami. I feel like I'm on a Jeopardy board right now. Did you enjoy your turn there?
I loved it. And I'll be honest with you. You know, I would have stayed on that show for 20 years if it would have ran that long because I played a black scientist on the show, and that's a positive role model for all of us, and I would have stayed there, you know, I would have stayed there. And CBS, to be honest, has been my home on television made for the past 15 years since that show. Yeah. So shout out to Jerry Bruckheimer. He really helped change my life with that, and I had a great time with the show.
Well, that's because it's been your home because that's because you impressed them. They wouldn't have asked you to stay. They would have shown you the door if you had not done so well in CSI Miami. That's why CBS is still home for you. He's just far too modest. He's an amazing actor. All right, Miles, what you got queued up next? Which number? Talk to me. All right, this is a Miracle. I tell you, I'm just gonna run through some of your stuff, man.
This is my baby.
Let's go at Miracle at St. Anna. Give it to me, Miles.
What about all that preaching you do back home, Bishop? Don't you believe in God?
Well, now I believes in it at the time I'm preaching it. Then I don't believe in it no more. Hell, now I just believe in the pictures of old white men on green paper.
Well, that ain't no way to live. You know, God don't like ugly, Bishop.
He ain't too fond of pretty either. Train, why you think God allow all this killing all over the world to happen? See, that's why I don't believe in him.
Well, if you don't believe in him, Bishop Cumming, then why you care about whether or not God the one allowing all the killing?
Man, you starting to sound like my mama now.
Your mama alive, Bishop?
Train, mind your own damn business, boy. You hear me?
Yeah, I'm sorry, buddy. I didn't mean nothing by it, Bishop.
Is your God gonna get us back home in one piece? Is he?
The Lord is willing and the creek don't rise.
Yo, it's something awesome about listening to scenes and not watching them and listening to scenes. For me,
that's why
critiquing the work.
That's why I love the intimacy of radio, though. You can hear it.
It really is. And shout out to my man. That's Michael Ealy there, and that's my scene partner in that scene. And we did a lot of rehearsal to get to the point. And shout out to the maestro Spike Lee, who put me on. That film changed my life, man. I had to lose 70 pounds to be in that movie, and I lost 70 pounds over summer of 2007. And it probably helped me in multiple ways. Yeah. but
that's a lot to lose, though, Omar.
It's a lot to lose and fast, man. A lot to lose and fast. But that film changed my life. I love that movie. I wish it would have found its audience sooner. But people still come up to me to speak about it, having just seen it.
Yeah, it's a powerful scene, though. And that's and it's why I love Omar. So we're listening to the scene, and we're trying to walk you through some of the best of Omar Miller's work. And the first thing he says to me is, "You hear that Terrence Blanchard in the background?"
It's a team sport, though.
Stop it, man. Stop it.
It's a team sport. I mean, we're not playing monologues with me just on the silent tip. This is me with a scene partner. There's music.
Yeah.
Spike is behind the lens directing me. Yeah. There's a lot of elements, brother. This is if I always feel like if we can get off of just itis. The stuff that we can accomplish if we don't care who gets the credit is profound. My mother talks about it all the time, and she's right.
And that's why I love you and your mama. It is that generosity of spirit. I mean, the first thing he notices is not his voice, not Michael's voice, but he says, "Man, that's Terrence Blanchard in the background." And that kind of generosity and charity, I just absolutely love. All right, so that's CSI Miami. That's Miracle at St. Anna. He's done so much stuff. We're gonna give you a little taste of The West Wing when we come forward, and I loved him in Ballers. I'll give you some of that as well. You're listening to Omar Miller on Tavis Smiley.
From California to the Carolinas, everybody's listening to Tavis. More when we come forward.
This is an ad by BetterHelp. Think about your mentors and idols, the people who inspire you the most. While it may look like they have all the answers, they don't. But they do know when to ask questions and seek the support they need. In a world that glorifies hyper-independence, it's easy to forget that we're all better with a support system. Therapy is a great way to find a consistent source of support in your life, so you can break free from the outdated belief that seeking help is a sign of weakness. BetterHelp has experienced therapists ready to help you with challenges ranging from anxiety and depression to relationships and stress. It's convenient, too. You can join a session with the click of a button, helping you fit therapy into your busy life. You can even send your therapist a message anytime something comes up. Build your support system with BetterHelp. Visit BetterHelp.com/ABCRadio today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/ABCRadio.
We ask seniors how to prevent Medicare scams.
My best advice, if you get a phone call, do not talk to the person. These people are well-trained. Don't talk to them.
They don't know me. They're just trying to scam me.
Don't be fooled. Hang up. Just hang up.
Never give out your Medicare number.
They're going to get your number to put in a false claim.
If I get a call from someone, I don't pick up the phone. And should I pick up the phone and they ask for information, then I hang up.
How do you detect Medicare fraud?
Just like I check my credit card statements, I check my Medicare statements monthly.
Scammers can get a hold of your number, order medical devices through your account, and you're not even going to know about it if you don't look at your statement.
Check your statement every month. If you get your statement and you see something that you know you did not have done, you report it.
Call your senior Medicare Patrol.
To report Medicare fraud, call the Senior Medicare Patrol at 855-613-7080.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with services and solutions. LA County's new Justice Care and Opportunities Department, or JCOD, is here to support justice-involved individuals and their families. The JCOD Support Center is now taking calls at 1-833-LACJCOD. That's 1-833-522-5263. Available 7 days a week from 6 a.m. to 11 p.m., the Support Center is your one-stop shop for re-entry issues and court support. They offer court reminders, connections to local services, transportation assistance for housing, court appearances, and childcare. The JCOD hotline provides personalized help to connect you with services that you need. And don't forget to check out justiceconnect.org for more information. Remember, it's free and available every day at 1-833-522-5263. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
Helping to make you the most knowledgeable person in your circle of friends. This is Tavis Smiley.
Tavis Smiley and Omar Miller. We're having way too much fun talking about the huge hit that Sinners is this weekend, #1 at the box office. He stars in that alongside an amazing cast, including Michael B. Jordan, Delroy Lindo, on and on the cast goes. So congrats again to Ryan Coogler for writing, producing, and directing the #1 movie in America, Sinners, at a movie theater near you, as they say. But you don't get Omar, as I said, in studio without walking through some of his other work. We've talked about CSI Miami, Miracle at St. Anna. Love that powerful scene. Here he is now in West Wing.
Michelle, he's with me.
Which one?
The regular sized one. Who are you? Orlando Kettles, boss. How you doing? Fine, thanks. Anthony. Yeah, you know I brought him today. Yeah, first of all, they're a little prickly about security around here. You're not down as Anthony +1.
Boy's going to Columbus, starting right tackle for the Buckeyes. True freshman. He's going to play on Sundays.
What is he doing here, Anthony?
Yeah, he got pulled over with an open can of Pabst in his hand.
You were driving drunk? No way, boss.
He passed the breathalyzer. It was the open can of Pabst. Look, Saturday, St. Erasmus Academy. That's a big game for a senior. Coach is going to sit him down because of the Pabst Blue Ribbon unless...
Unless what?
You know, you do your thing.
My thing?
Write him a note.
Saying what?
He's a good guy, Charlie. He does his business.
I'm not Officer Krupke. I have a job.
Man, look at the size of him, Charlie. And he's not done growing yet either.
What else has he got?
He stole a goat.
A goat?
Yeah.
Why did he? No, I don't care. You got a social security number?
Yeah.
Orlando, you got practice this afternoon? Oh, yeah. You're not going. It's election day. You're gonna spend it with me.
Yo, man, I done wind sprints. I'll take the swap.
Follow me. Now, these people I work with are serious people, so you're not going to embarrass me in front of them.
You got it, boss.
All right, we're going to have to wait until the Secret Service.
Whoa, sorry, man. That wasn't cool.
How you doing? You all right? You should play football.
Hey, man, I'm trying, but I had an open PAPS, and that's the way that goes.
Man, you've done so many scenes in so many projects. Do you recall that when you hear it?
What, he crazy? Shout out to Dule Hill. He's one of my best friends. And Dule, we met on that set. That was 2004, I want to say, 3 or 4. And then we ended up working together again in Ballers, where he found his wife in my on-camera wife. And, Dule is my man. And then shout out to Dule. If you go in New York City, go see him in Coleman Domingo's play, the Nat King Cole play. I think it's called One Night. Let me get the name of it.
Find it, yeah.
But go see it. Go see it. It's well worth your time.
Yep. You got a little bit political earlier. What do you make of having played in the fictional West Wing and what's happening in the real West Wing right about now?
Well, I don't think I would be welcome in the real West Wing at this point. They might try to deport me, let alone forget about getting in the White House. They might try to pull me out the country. There's a lot of. It seems like if you want to visit the White House at this point, you either got to be tap dancing or you got to be ready to kiss the behind of Orange Julius, and me myself is not for me. I'll pass.
Or on a team that just won the championship.
Can you imagine? Yeah. Oh, they hurt us bad with that. That one hurt me bad.
That
hurt me bad.
I'm gonna leave it alone.
I'm gonna leave it alone too because I still love some of them brothers, but it was way too many smiles and grins like they was meeting Santa Claus or something.
Yeah, no, it hurt.
Ugh.
It hurt me.
That hurt bad. Hurt the team bad.
He mentioned Dule Hill. We'll give some ballers when we come forward with Omar Miller on Tavis Smiley.
This is getting good.
Yeah, man.
Tavis Smiley continues when we come forward.
If you're like me, 60 and retired, making ends meet, especially here at the supermarket and drugstore, is tough. I'm so blessed to have found benefitscheckup.org. It's a free and confidential website from the National Council on Aging that connected me to $1,200 a year in programs that help pay for food, medicine, utilities, and more. Maybe it can help you. benefitscheckup.org.
You know where you want to go in life, and City National Bank can help. City National knows the dedication it takes to build your vision for the future into a reality, and our team is here for you. We have a wide range of options to help, from personal savings accounts to interest-bearing money market savings accounts and more, all designed to help you get where you want to go. City National, here for every stage of the journey. Learn more at cnb.com. City National Bank is a subsidiary of Royal Bank of Canada, member FDIC.
Lena Bloom for the Bail Project.
Imagine you're stuck in a jail cell and you can't afford bail, and someone offers you a way out. Just plead guilty and you can go home and kiss your kids goodnight. What do you do? What thousands have. You plead guilty whether you are or not. Cash bail makes poverty a crime. That's why the Bail Project helps those who can't afford it while fighting to end cash bail. Because freedom should be free.
Brought to you by the Ad Council.
I can't believe how spotless my floors look after using the Swiffer Power Mop. No more dragging around a heavy mop and messy bucket. Now I get the same deep clean without all the work. Thanks to the powerful solution and scrubbing pad of the Swiffer Power Mop, dirt and grime don't stand a chance, and I don't break a sweat. Mic drop. Mop drop.
Swiffer Power Mop. Swiffer Power Mop.
A smarter way to mop. Try it or your money back.
Made fresh daily in Leimert Park, Los Angeles, California. You're listening to Tavis Smiley.
Tavis Smiley and Omar Miller. It's yours, Mr. Miller, for a second here.
Absolutely. I just wanted to shout out my boy Dule Hill. He's playing Nat King Cole in Lights Out, at the New York Theater Workshop. If you guys get a chance, it's an off-Broadway play. It is fantastic. It's worth your time. Trust me on that. I endorse. Tell Dule I sent you.
I love it. All right, Miles, I got time for one more piece. This is Omar in Ballers.
Hey, hands off, fellas.
I just want a stick.
You asked me that yesterday.
Come on, I just want to take a test drive.
How about you get a driver's license first and then a job? I knew you'd be back.
Trying to squeeze in one last fishing trip before training camp. This 1,500 should do the trick.
Yeah, that 1500 is solid if you're going for small game. But a big game fisherman like yourself needs a big game truck. 6.6 liter V8 turbo diesel, 6-speed tranny.
Well, you got the sales rap down. Don't try to tell me you gave up 2 good years on the field so you could pack on an extra 30 and hustle trucks. You retired too soon, Charles. Big bodies aren't hard to come by. Easy enough to get back in shape, even for you. But a mind like yours, on the O-line, that's a rare thing.
I don't know. Civilian life suits me just fine, you know? No more pit piles and head slaps for me. I'm gonna just kick back, soak up the AC, start a family, you know, be a dad.
Okay, you sold me.
On retirement?
Not a chance. On the 3500.
Let's do some paperwork.
Dwayne Johnson, of course, The Rock was already established, but Ballers really pushed John David Washington out there, Denzel's boy.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah. It gave him his real shot. You know, I was there when he shot his first scene. It was wonderful to see him develop over the 5 seasons of the show and watch him grow as a performer and as an actor. And now, I mean, you know, he did the piano lesson on Broadway. He did the piano lesson film. He's you know, put himself in a leading man situation. So shout out to my man JD. But again, that was Dule Hill once again on the scene with me. It's like that film, that show.
You and Dule are like Ryan and Michael B.
Come on, man. Come on. But one of us just need to get some more juice so we can really pull each other up. That's it.
I love the brotherhood, though. I love the bromance.
Absolutely.
So I have forced you, whether you wanted to or not, in this 1 hour, and I wish I had more time because I've enjoyed this immensely, Omar. But in this 1 hour, I have forced you to come to terms with your body of work.
Yeah.
And what do you at this point? You got a lot more to do, and you're in the #1 film in the country right now, Sinners. So again, congrats to you and the entire cast and Ryan and everybody for the success of Sinners. But when you sit here for an hour and you hear all these clips of the stuff you've been in, and that's just some of it, you know, Ballers, CSI Miami, West Wing, Miracle at St. Anna, the new number one film in the country, as I said, Sinners. What do you think about this body of work that you are crafting?
Man, I'm so blessed. Yeah. I just think about how fortunate I am to have had these opportunities to work with people who believe in me, to give me an opportunity. And I think about how it is now my job to provide that path and opportunity for other folks and to keep making work that's relevant. I want to make work that people speak about, that people care about, and that people feel represented by. So me, myself, that's what the goal is to have another 25 years of work that I'm proud of. And I want to give you love, man, because I've listened to you forever. I watched you when you were on television. And for years, man, you made this hour go by. I wish my workout hour went by this fast. You crazy?
So do I. In that regard, we are simpatico. I feel the same. It just drags on, don't it?
It just drags on.
The things that you enjoy go too fast, and the things that you feel tortured by take forever. So I feel you. I feel you in that regard. How are you? Let me rephrase that. When you said you want to do stuff that matters, the work that people talk about years from now, is that becoming easier or more difficult at this phase in your career? Are you seeing that kind of stuff more as often as you want?
I don't know if that ever becomes easy unless you're the person that produces that stuff. And I don't even think it's easy then. I just think that choosing projects is hard because if this project, the reason that Black Panther made us all feel so great, in part was where we were as a society at that point when it came out in 2018. But this film, Sinners, makes you feel a certain way because of where society is and where the world is in 2025. So you have to, for me as an actor, the reason you don't see me more often is because I'm out. I'm outside. I travel the world. I'm doing all kind of stuff. I have to get the world on me to then be able to accurately portray the world back to you as an audience. And so as the world turns is going to determine a lot of what I personally find relevant and important to highlight and to tell the stories about.
I love how you're saying it. I love how you're saying it. And I love your hustle.
Thank you, brother.
I love you for coming in the studio today.
Man, count on me.
And I love you for being in Sinners. It's #1 at the box office. Let's run these numbers up some more, y'all. Let's really make variety.
Make them mad.
Let's give variety something to talk about.
Yes,
something to write about. But for now, Omar Miller, again, congrats on the film. Congrats on all the rest of your body of work, and come back anytime you want.
Absolutely, thank you.
Good to have you here. Just like that, 3 hours gone. Back here tomorrow, Lord willing, to do it all over again. Until tomorrow, thanks for tuning in to Tavis Smiley, and as always, keep the faith.